emails at mrtoronto@hotmail.com. I want to hear all your stories, and you could probably be on the Stephanie Stevens Show, season 2. Now, so that describes your and your generation's personal relationship experiencing vintage and retro porn. What about professionally? Any connections there?
Well, I mean, it's kind of an aesthetic, really, overall. I mean, you know, the clothing and especially like the intimate garments that you see in 70s and 80s porn, you know, was very distinctive. And so, like with the high socks and the, you know, the funky colored briefs of that era, with that in mind, I kind of got into designing retro-futuristic underwear and just based and influenced by the styles from that era.
So you design and inspire retro underwear. Is it made here in Canada?
Yeah, in fact, actually, right now I make it all myself personally. A handmade every order on demand. Just at a small studio here in the Career Village. So just a half a block from where we're filming right now.
So what makes you different than other underwear makers?
Well, I mean, there's been different manufacturers that have brought back the bright colors and stuff, but I've actually brought into the, you know, the design of the underwear modern features like seamlessness on the sides and a double front fly, so you can access whichever side you want. A lower hip fit as well. Although I'll have to tell you, a lot of my best-selling styles have been actually the high waist ones because it's really hot, you know, in the culture right now. But you know, all of the designs and stuff are original and based on stuff, you know, it's just inspired by designs from that era.
Okay, so you have a pair on now.
I do, yes.
Okay, well, could you stand up and show our
Sure,
audience?
sure. These ones have pockets actually in them. Yeah.
Oh, they have pockets.
Yeah, these ones have pockets. You can stash your stuff in them. So if you go to the beach, you know, you can keep your stuff in your underwear. You can walk around in your underwear if you want. It's great for the summer. It's been really hot out, right? So
where can we get your underwear, your homemade collection?
Yeah, it's at retromatti.com. It's M-A-T-T-I with an I, although you can spell it either way. It'll still send you to the right place. So yeah, RETROMATTI.com. And we ship all around the world. We've had orders from everywhere, like Japan, you know, Germany, you name it.
So in vintage pornography, often the costumes were very gender binary. Is it true of your product line as well?
Actually, we take pride in the fact that actually almost all our products are gender neutral. Given the popularity of, you know, like guy style briefs for girls, I think it's time the world's ready. You know, most of our customers have been guys, but not all.
Now, as you can see, I have a few porn magazines in the back here on the Stephanie Stevens Show. Now, the reason we brought these porn magazines is because I wanted to ask you just a couple of questions. Now, your first experience of coming out and knowing that you like men and women, which did you look at porn magazines?
Oh, I mean, when you're hitting puberty, you know, like you try and expose yourself to as much as possible to figure out, you know, who you are and figure out what you're attracted to. Absolutely.
So, what kind of magazines were you actually drawn to? What type of magazines?
Well, I mean, I was of the generation we didn't really have as many magazines. We wrote with on the internet, you know. It's actually a lot more of a digital kind of thing now.
Okay, so what if I was to say I went home with Retro Matty, what kind of porn would we be watching?
Oh, I do love porn from that era. So Catalina, Cadino, Wymack. One of my favorite production companies was Nova. Actually, they were actually one of the first companies to introduce clothing as actually part of the actual, like, not an incidental thing, but actually part of the experience of the scene. You know, like actually added enhanced to the scene. You know, so they'd have like football players, you know, in their football outfits. It's really kind of nice aesthetic.
So football fetishes.
Well, sure, why not? Sports playing. I mean, what's more homoerotic than sports? A bunch of guys wrestling. Right?
I spent a few times in those locker rooms.
I bet. Haven't we all?
Now, what I would say is, now, what is it that you, like, you're designing this clothing line, what is it that you want your audience to know about the kind of clothes and underwear that you're actually designing? What is the message?
Well, I mean, you can be whoever you want to be. That's certainly part of it, and you know, you can relive kind of the aesthetics of your childhood, or if you're, you know, younger and today, you can you know, find new life in them, and be whoever you want to be. You know, be whatever gender you identify as, whatever your sexual interests are. You can. It's for boys and for girls. If you like boys, if you like girls, if you like something in between, if you are something in between, that's totally fine. I'm something in between myself. So you know, I think it's so great. And you know, I really think that it's the kind of thing that this is made of cotton and stuff. It's for everyone. It's really comfortable and yeah.
Okay. So now your first. Can I just ask? I know it's a little personal. You don't have to answer it if you don't want. Now, what was your first sexual experience like? You don't have to tell us in detail, but just
Oh.
tell us what it was like. Like,
I'm
like
not-
where did you do it?
I'm not sure if that's appropriate.
Just where did you do it?
At home.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, like most of us, we do
Yeah.
it when our parents are gone
Yep.
to work. We bring somebody over, and we
Sure.
sort of, you like, oh yes. But that, for me, my first experience, I'm gonna be honest. I was in the backyard, and my parents had bought a new refrigerator, and the box in the refrigerator, I used to play with the boy next door. And we rolled around in this refrigerator box, and we ended up on top of each other. I shouldn't say that. I miss your mom and dad. They're gone, but they would be shocked if they knew that I was rolling around in that refrigerator box in the backyard with that little boy next door. But I learned. Anyways, now, what country would you say dominates the aesthetics of vintage porn?
Well, it's funny. You actually look at your magazines back there. You see a very American aesthetic, both in color and in design there on that Inches magazine. So I would say it's most strongly associated with the United States because a lot of the porn from that era that we all remember and stuff, like Nova, like William Higgins and his Catalina stuff. It's all associated with kind of West Coast American, predominantly California. We have all these scenes of these California porn. Actually, during that era, I think porn was one of the largest exports of California for a while. Actually, during that time. Yeah.
Well, I'm from Florida, and they used to have a really huge porn industry there. And I remember getting all of the Blue Boy magazines, and used to watch Jeff Stryker videos.
Oh, Jeff Stryker, yeah.
And even some of the old videos with the white guy Larry Holmes. You remember him from the 1970s? He died of AIDS, but.
Yeah.
He was big in a lot of big in the retro days and in the vintage time. And those porn videos were very attractive because they showed the fantasies of a lot of us. He sort of had a very large, and people fantasize about that.
Yeah.
And today, now, would you say to the people out there, how do you think they should? Do you think they should hide how their sexuality and how they feel about different, like, let's say they like toys, or they like a different race, or they like different scenes, like being a doctor, nurse, role playing.
Yeah. I think you should celebrate who you are. I think you should never be apologetic for who you are. As long as you're not stepping on anyone else's shoes, I think that you should be celebrating who you are as a whole. And so we spend all of our lives, just trying to figure out who we are. And so it may as well just like settle into it earlier on, and you'll be happier. It may be hard at first, but you'll eventually want to struggle to get there anyway. So you may as well, be who you are and be straightforward and upfront about things, and also but try to be dynamic too. So if you're talking about with a partner and stuff, it's a good idea to be upfront, but also be willing to compromise and stuff too, because